died on an empty stomach. And because it happened that way, the theory is the biggest mafia rub-out of the decade took place with considerable help from inside the dead mobster's family. 6 shell casings were on the pavement of East 46th Street, right next to the body of Paul Castellano Sr., the top mafiosi in the United States.
I was a gangster. December 16th. We know the time, the place, who's going to get hit. We know it all. And we'll kill them right as they pull up. This is a do or die hit. They gotta go. 1, 2, nobody run. Everybody move at the same time. Some of us might die. I think most of us will get away, if not all of us. We'll all die and go to hell, or we'll all get away with this. That's the fucking attitude I want to hear.
Sammy, we are going live. Yeah, buddy.
I almost got caught drinking my coffee, but I almost choked.
Oh no.
Hey guys, on the live. All right, we got a lot of things to discuss today, a lot of questions coming in, and we're gonna get right to it.
How was your weekend, Sammy? You were out and about, fancy danning with the mayor of Scottsdale.
Yes, yes. And she's cute. She's like a little cutie pie, thin little woman. I was surprised. I thought she would be an older woman. She became the mayor of Scottsdale. We were invited to a party. She did a selfie with me. She thanked me. She heard that I was, pushing for her, and she thanked me, which was good. And then after that, we went to what's the name?
City Hall, Mastro's City Hall.
City Hall, Mastro's City Hall, with a bunch of heavyweights, which a good meeting. I mean, it was all heavyweights at this mayor's thing. People who backed her in different ways, money-wise. I didn't back her that way, but they had 2, the guests who backed her money-wise and
Endorsements
and stuff like that.
Appearances.
And me, broken down releases who didn't give her any money. And so that was my crew. We walked in on that. But I did back her, and she thanked me and thanked my crew. So that was good. And we had a good night. I mean, I started 5 o'clock in the morning that morning, and I got home at 10:30.
Yeah.
Well, I went to sleep. I didn't even take my clothes off. I just jumped in bed, faked it, I think. So, but yeah, we had a busy weekend, stuff like that. And there's a lot of things to talk about. What else?
Is lobster bisque your favorite soup?
Lobster bisque is one of my favorites.
Because they brought the bowl out. You ordered lobster bisque, and the bowl is like the size of your head. But you almost ate the whole thing.
I did. And then the steak, I couldn't finish it. You brought it back, right? I ate it this morning.
Oh, good.
I put it in the microwave and I heated it up. It was good. It was really good. Sometimes Italians know that when you put it on the side and then you heat it up the next day, it seems better for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I love leftovers.
Leftovers. I love
flavor
leftovers
gets in
too.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun night.
I ate those steaks this morning. My son is here now, stuffing his face with pizza. I didn't eat breakfast. I didn't eat lunch. He's not waiting for me, so all right. That's the way it goes sometimes.
Hey, Gerard. See you guys all Wednesday on Patreon for the Skippers.
Yes. Yeah, on Patreon with the Skippers. We're doing a live, and my son and my daughter will be on that, of course. And we'll see how that goes. What other questions?
Yes, Sterling, our editor, is working on Sheriff Joe's Table in the Back. That will be out early January.
Right, she's doing a great job. Now, we made a mistake. We put one in that, we just got so much stuff. There was a mistake. We fixed it up today.
Oh, yeah. Sterling's really fast.
Yeah, Sterling's fast. She fixed it right up.
There's a video today.
Yeah.
And what?
The video with Anthony at Sparks.
Oh, yes.
That's going out.
And Anthony went to Sparks Steakhouse, and he called me up. We did a video back and forth. He let out a small piece of it, and now he's going to do an actual video I don't even know what I said. So if I said something crazy, I mean...
No, these 16-hour days that you do, these 18-hour days, they get crazy.
Yeah.
Mark in the Super Chat is saying, Merry Christmas, Sammy.
Thank you so much, my brother. And Merry Christmas to you and your entire family, and to everybody who's watching me on TikTok and on YouTube. I wish you all a great holiday weekend. Merry Christmas and stuff like that. So
Chris Rainbow says, my birthday is today, December 16th, but 1978. Happy birthday, Chris.
Happy birthday.
It's a hell of a...
So you're a youngster. All right.
And it's not only the Castellano hit anniversary, Sammy. Today is another beautiful anniversary as well.
Yes. We started our podcast in December of 2020. Do the math. It's December of 2024. 4 years. And in 4 years, I'm bragging because we have 624,000 subscribers and 127 million views. So James Carroll was my director and there and producer as well. So we had a great time doing it, and that's another great stepping stone, which is good. My movies are coming along, as you guys know. Hollywood let it out. They let the cat out of the bag. Pretty soon I'll be allowed to talk about it. There'll be times when I talk about it on my Patreon Live, especially in the captain's position. I will have actors and actresses as we're going and doing interviews with them, and you could be part of that live with the actors and actresses, asking them things and stuff like that. So all of those things are going to happen in the very near future.
Yeah. Heart of a Gypsy is saying, hey, Sammy, I absolutely love this. It's like touching a part of history. Well,
thank you so much. And yeah, I mean, does that mean I'm old? Well, I am old. I'm super old. So.
No, you're classic.
I'm classic. See, my girls, I can't even knock myself. They bring me back up again. I'm classic. I'm like one of those. When I was a kid, I used to make the classic cars, glue it together and stuff like that. So somebody needs a little bit of glue for me and to glue me back together.
Oh no!
And I'm a classic.
JB Weld in the Super Chat. Did neighborhood people approach you regularly for favors like they did in The Godfather?
They did. I mean, when I was in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, I grew up there all my life. And once my name started to spread, I mean, I already knew a lot of people, but it got, bigger and bigger. And there's all kinds of people would come to me for different reasons, favors. I had an office on Stewart Avenue. The principal, a principal of the school, came to me once and said, Sammy, could you do me a favor? And I said, of course, what? And she said, there's kids at night that go in the schoolyard. It's an elementary school. And the kids, the next day when they go out and play, there's broken bottles, there's little joints, little things that are left there and stuff. And I did reach out to the kids in the neighborhood and I said, listen, bro, either go smoke somewhere else or clean up after you're done, because there's kids come out there, young little kids, and if I got to come to you again, I'm going to kick your ass. And they stopped. And the principal thanked me. So things like that happened all the time. Yeah. As the older I got, the bigger I got in position, in the newspapers, out of the newspapers. I mean, yeah, it happened to me a lot.
Janet in PA, your OG over here, she wants to know, when did you start wearing those newsboy caps?
The what?
The
newsboy caps? That's what it is. I say that they're Pinky Blinder hats, but they're newsboy hats. Years and years ago, she's right. I mean, she's a Gangstas woman, but they wear little caps like this and sell them, extra. They were selling newspapers and stuff like that. So that's what they called them, as newsboy caps. When did I start? When I lost my hand, I went bald. And I started wearing these caps and stuff like that. And really, the thing that really motivated me, I watched that movie, Pinky Blinders. I loved it. I watched it twice, and I loved the way they looked on the hat, on the head, and I started wearing them.
Sammy, you go, the what?
The what?
Okay, we have a couple questions off of rthing.tv. Redman, Sammy, today marks the date of when Paul was taken out. My question is, if you were given 5 minutes with him today, right now at this moment, what would you want to say to him? And what would you say to Bilotti as well?
Well, I would have talked to Paul. I would have told him, like, you're waiting too long. You know what happened with the tapes, with everything else. I mean, if you're going to take him out, he who hesitates is lost. If you're going to take him out, take him out. And if I really wanted to give my advice, I would say, go to the commission, tell them what the Gotti tapes were about, what you saw, what you knew. Every family was going to get hurt. He talked about the commission, he talked about drugs, he talked about everything. I'm sure the entire commission would have agreed, and he would have had every family in New York, the whole 5 families. There would have been an open contract on him. You don't stand a chance. He should have called me in, Frankie DeChico in, Joe Piney in, guys like that, and told them, there's a hit. You've got it. Everybody's got it. It would have been over in no time flat. You can't, I mean, every family, 4 or 5 crews from every family, hunting him down. You don't stand a chance. It's just a matter of time. So he hesitated too long. That would be my advice to him, if I was on his side.
Thank you, Sammy. Matthew Harris from rthing.tv. I'm an upstate New Yorker, and I gotta ask, it's been killing me to know, did you ever brush elbows with the Rochester guys, Valenti and all of them? If so, what was it like?
No, I don't believe I rubbed elbows with any of the Rochester crew. I knew there was a crew up there, good guys, but I never had any interactions with any of them.
Cortez Crawford in the super chat. Gotti broke the street code many times. He was showy and exposed not just the Gambinos, but the entire Mafia propaganda. Shouldn't you have whacked him?
Well, you know, there's a lot of things. Anthony Reggiano, his father, Fat Andy, was a heavyweight. You know, at one point, Tony Lee said he should be taken down, and Fat Andy went like this. No, he should be this. He was saying he should have been killed. And basically, that's the truth. That's the way a lot of people, for Chin hated him, Lucchese people hated him, the Colombos didn't like him. He thought the Bananos loved him, but I don't think they liked him too much either. When you this is breaking the rules. It's not a rat move, but he broke the rules in every which way. He brought the entire government down on us. He wasn't a rat. He just made dumb moves. We don't get up, do autographs all over the place, constantly putting the government down. And they organized the government not only against him, but everybody. They organized this whole thing. The DEA, the FBI, the New York State Police, the Southern District, the Eastern District, you name it, law enforcement on every level was coming for us. And he created that, kept pushing it. So.
JB Weld wants to know, could Tato be vicious? He sounds like a grandpa figure, but clearly he could be dangerous since he became a captain.
You know, in the beginning of the family, there was a war, and Tato was asked by Carlo Gambino to take out Tommy Rava, which was his captain, very, very powerful captain. The Mad Hatter was killed in a barbershop.
Albert Anastasia.
Albert Anastasia, and he wanted to kill Carl. Carl spoke with Tato. Tato took out Tommy Rava. I never knew that until recently. I saw FBI reports. and somebody was ratting him out, that he's the guy who killed Tommy Rava and another guy, his bodyguard. And he actually won the war title for Carlo Gambino. That's why he was a captain, and a very, very powerful captain, and loved by Carlo.
Great question. Let's see. Rodolfo wants to know, did you like the show Boardwalk Empire?
You know, you just embarrassed me because I didn't watch the show, and I have to watch the show because one of the people with me is Terry Winter, and he was the guy who wrote and did the show. And if he hears that I didn't watch it, you got me in trouble. But I didn't watch it, but I heard it was great. I'm going to watch it. I just haven't had the time to sit down and watch it.
January 1st.
January 1st, yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Maybe you should review it. Maybe that's one of the ones you review.
Yeah, I could, but I got to watch it first. And but I heard it was great, really well done, and I took it for granted. Terry Winter, everything he does and touches, he took over The Sopranos on the second season, took over and did the entire show, right up until the end. He's a great writer, showrunner. He's one of the best, and he's on my team. Thank God.
Oscar nominated for Wolf of Wall Street. Incredible movie.
Another one, yes. I saw parts of that, but that was another great movie.
Shaikh Noreen, I hope I pronounced that right. Sammy, what habits or features did you see in successful people?
Well, successful people, they work hard. They never take a break. They never complain. They see opportunities. They jump on it. They work on it. They're very aggressive people. They're not necessarily the smartest person in the world, but they've been knocked down. They're street smart. The real good ones are school smart, book smart, I call it, and street smart together. When they have that dual thing, they've really got it going on. So, like Mayana Banana's in school, and she's been working for us. She understands the Mafia and stuff like that. When you have those both educations put together, that really makes you smart.
Thank you, Sammy. I think you call it, you got a little gangster in your ass.
You got a little gangster in your ass. I just got stuck on a name. I said the Mad Hatter. She gave me the name, boom, like that. So she's got a little gangster in her ass.
Curtis is asking, Sammy, I'm an OG subscriber. I've been here watching you since you started. Did you have any dealings with the Cleveland mob, and did you know Danny Green?
I had no interactions with them. I believe the guy, Danny Green, was an Irish guy. He was fighting against the mob. He did some explosions, blew some people up. And I think I saw a movie or something about him. And then towards the end, he got blown up. Well, he got killed or blown up. I don't know which one. But I didn't have any interactions with the Cleveland mob. But they were a tough crew, and this Danny Green was a tough guy. I believe he was Irish, but that don't make any difference. When you're tough, you're tough, whether you're Irish, Italian, Jewish, German, whatever you are.
Uncle Bob wants to know, the guy named Luigi, the kid that killed the CEO of the healthcare, do you think he was mobbed up a little bit or connections there?
No, he's a total asshole. He threw his life away. He's educated, curly hair, good-looking guy. Listen, I'm not happy with the system. A lot of people are not happy with the system. That don't mean you go kill one guy who works in a company, is an executive. It's stupid. I knew it wasn't a professional hit because he could have been hit anywhere. I knew it wasn't. I said it right from the beginning. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. He's going to do life without parole. And with that curly, cute face he's got, he's going to be somebody's bitch for years to come. That's what he did with his life. No, I don't think there's any mafioso in the world would say, yeah, go whack this guy because he's in the insurance business and you don't like it. I mean, you just don't do that. That's stupid shit. somebody died because they didn't get the right insurance. These are big conglomerate, big, huge corporations. They make rules and they make regulations. And listen, there's times I get mad at them. I don't get insurance for this or that. Or I'm not going to go kill people over it. I don't like the whole system. We got to change the system, not one guy. You know. So even the politicians, I hate a lot of them. I dislike them for what they do. They're traitors to our country, a lot of them. But I don't talk about killing them. It's just not even in my mind.
Alexander M. in the super chat. Did you ever meet any of the San Francisco or LA mob guys?
There was very few. I don't think there was a family in San Francisco. Now, I did time with guys from San Francisco that they had, it wasn't Cosa Nostra as we know it. It was an Italian group of guys who stuck together. It was like their family. But they didn't belong to the Mafia. They never took the oath. They never were part of the code. They had some strip joints, stuff like that. Some of the kids were tough guys. So they had what they had, but it wasn't part of the Mafia, San Francisco. And I don't even think there was a Mafia in LA.
Did you meet the so-called boss in a club you were mommy or something like that?
Yeah, there was, who was that?
You met the guy from LA, the boss from LA.
What was his name?
I don't remember his name. You were mommy.
I was in a club one night with my wife. And I was just made, I went to this place in Westchester County, and we went to this club. It was Mafia run by a guy in our family. And he came over to me. I was with my wife. I was alone. And he said, Sammy, this guy here, I can't think of his name. I may think about it when I'm saying the story. He came over, he says, these guys want to meet anybody who's a friend of ours, a made guy, and he wants to meet with you as well. So I said, listen, leave me out of it. I'm with my wife, I'm alone. I just want to go in, watch the show. So leave me out of it. He must have told him, because the guy came back and he said, tough guy, stand up. And I got up and he said, do you know who I am? I said, no. He says, well, I'm the boss of California. Now, you're not allowed to introduce yourself. You have to be introduced by someone. And nobody ever introduced him to me. So for all I know, he's full of shit. So as soon as he said that, so I said, well, I'm not interested in what you are. I don't want to talk to you. I don't even know you. He said, you know what I could do? I said, you can go and fuck yourself. My wife was sitting right there. I said, take a fucking walk. Don't fucking threaten me in front of my wife. You want to do something? Me and you could walk the fuck out. He said, you crazy? A little bit. I told him a little bit. But when we walk out, I'm going to show you how fucking crazy I am. So get the fuck away from me. He left. And the next day, I got called by Paul Castellano. And he asked me, what happened? You had an argument with a guy? He said he was what? He said he was the boss. Paul, when we got married, you said you can't recognize that. A third person has to introduce you. So he didn't abide by that rule. I never met him. I was never introduced to him. And I chased him. And he got a little uppity in front of my wife, and I abused him a little bit. He said, great. 2 or 3 weeks later, he called me in again, Paul Castellano, about that guy. He's not a fucking boss. He was a made guy or something, but he was never a boss, and he was an informant besides. I wish I would have known that night, because I would have cracked him right in the fucking face. So I don't think there was an actual family in California. It was open territory. Anybody could go there. The same thing with Vegas. Anybody, any family could go there. Anybody could open up shop. It wasn't like New York had 5 families. Jersey had a family, the Cavalcanti family. Philadelphia had D'Angelo Bruno family, and there was territories and places they were, in Florida, in Louisiana, places like that. I don't know if there was an actual family. There might have been guys there, but not a family.
Yellow Pays is saying his name was Greg De Palma.
Greg De Palma, you're right. Thank you so much. That's the guy who owned the Westchester Premier Theater. He didn't own it. The legitimate people owned it, but he was controlling it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. He's right. Greg De Palma, another asshole.
You got the best community. They're like little gangsters.
Yeah. We got a great community. Now, who's the other guy? Who was the boss of, the boss of California? What was his name?
Come on, chat. Well, who's the boss of California? We'll get to a super chat and then get back to that question. Pell.
Google it, Gerard. Stop eating and Google it. Yeah, the guy who talked to me in California. He met me in the Westchester Premier Theater, and he tried to bully me a little bit.
What did Deb do? Like, what was her reaction?
She got a little nervous.
Yeah.
But, listen, all my life I've been like that, so she's used to me. She was fucking used to me. So she probably figured any minute that Sammy's gonna start throwing punches or something. I definitely wouldn't throw punches because I didn't know what the fuck he was. I didn't know what he was. But I knew I had the right. You can't introduce yourself. Somebody, a third guy. Let's say Sterling is a maid guy and I'm a maid guy. But we never met. We can't tell each other. We know, but we can't communicate that way. Now, let's say Anna knew her as a friend of ours and me. She's the one who comes in and introduces us. So there's a way in so the FBI could never get in, nobody could in. So now this guy didn't have any of that. And he's telling me he's the boss. What do I give a fuck who you are? I don't know what you're the boss. I don't even know you. I don't even want to talk to you about that. I'm not allowed to talk to you. To me, there's no such thing. If a guy's asking me, are you in the Mafia? No, I'm not. If I'm in there, I don't talk about it. I don't brag about it. I don't do any of that.
I'm a union delegate.
I'm a union delegate. I'm a tough guy. Yeah, I'm a tough guy. I'm a tough guy of my house. And even then, sometimes my daughter gives me a beat and gives me trouble. But
okay, Pal L in the super chat. Have you had any dealings with Testa and Center since they've been released, the Gemini twins?
No, I had no contact with them whatsoever. Like I said a lot of times, they did some really nasty shit. But they were under Roy DeMeo. I don't blame them. They're under orders. Maybe they didn't like what they were doing. They're stuck with it. They changed their life in prison. I buy that. The wardens and people in prison know what you are, they're with you 24/7. They did a lot of years, 20 some odd years, quite 26, 28, whatever it was, a lot of years. They changed their life. They became, I believe, born again Christians. And I wish them all the luck in the world. I hope they did change their life. I'm sure they did. They can't be all that bad. Some of their families stuck with them through the years and waited for them to get out. They're up in age now. They're younger than me, I think. But not too much younger. But no, I've never had any kind of contact with them. They haven't reached out to me to want to do a video or anything like that. So, no, I have no contact with them whatsoever.
Doreen wants to know, how is Lily doing?
Lily's doing good. Lily's doing great. She's my baby. She's eating better now. I bought some special dog food, and she eats great. She don't throw up. I said, as she got older, she's 13. She's having stomach problems, and she was having trouble on what kind of food to eat. I got some food now, and that's great for her. And now I'm looking at a Christmas picture of a book of me laying on the thing.
Oh, no, hold on.
Yeah, get that off, so, because there I am. I'm going cockeyed.
Eric wants to know, did you have any interactions in Baltimore?
No, none.
JC, did you know a Cuban gangster named Jose Miguel? He had a lottery business.
I'm not sure. No, I don't think so.
Let's see. Mark, I see your question about Lucky Luciano said no one boss. How is Paul boss? I don't know what that means.
What was the question?
He's saying Lucky Luciano said no one boss. How is Paul boss?
Maybe he's saying there's no one boss, and there's different bosses, and that's how they made commissions and things, different bosses. Maybe that's what he's saying. If not, speak English to me, man.
I know. Grammatical errors. Alex is asking, and you get this question a lot, Sammy, what would you say to John Gotti today if he was alive?
It's a hell of a question. You know, I hate to answer it a certain way. I did love the guy at one point in my life. I did. I loved him. I trusted him. I did everything for him. Betraying me broke my heart. It made me walk away from the life. What would I say now? I'm so angry at what he did. I would kill him. I would shoot him right in the head. Because you're breaking every rule in the book. You're taking our family and destroying it. We're not allowed to do those things. And like I said, to one of the other questions, the closest guy, Fat Andy and Tony Lee. Tony Lee said, and Anthony Reggiano said this. Tony Lee said he should be taken down for the way he's conducted himself. Fat Andy said, and that was a real heavyweight, Anthony's father, he went like this. No, he should be taken out. And I agree with that. I understand what Fat Andy was saying. He was right. If you're going to conduct yourself this way, you took over a family, you got to go. We can't allow that to happen. And the end result is the whole Mafia fell apart because of him and Angelo Ruggiero. And not that they did it on purpose, but the way you conduct yourself and what you do hurt the whole mob. Some of the tapes that they had was used in the commission case, things that they had said. Those tapes gave judges the right to give FBI subpoena right to subpoena people, to bug their houses, bug their cars. I mean, this is the damage it did. You could love the guy, still love the guy for a lot of things. You know, we had a tremendous relationship. But I can't find, what I would say. I said those things to him when we were together, many, many times. Let's not keep having these meetings in the Ravenite. We're making everybody come here. There's fucking cars parked out there, FBI, filming us. They're not even hiding. The news media is filming us. I said this once. The first time I saw my name in the paper, who I was, it was like a doctor telling me you got cancer. And I knew it would grow. And I knew that would happen. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that this is going to happen. His ego got the best of him. And I'm sure if he was reborn, I don't think he would conduct himself the same way. I really don't. Unless he's completely out of his mind. Because this was the end result. We completely fell apart. Not just him or me, the whole fucking Mafia. Not just that I ratted, 100 guys ratted. We got to take blame for that. You can call somebody rat, you can call them whatever you want. But we set the stage for that. So, I don't know what the hell I would tell them.
J. Marie in the super chat, Sammy, you retold and you shared your story about the Johnny Keys, that dear one to your heart on Soft White Underbelly, and that is out now. J. Marie has a question. After listening to you retell the Johnny Keys story, I've come to the conclusion that the commission picked the wrong side in the war.
Without a doubt. I believe that 100,000%. I said that the next day after we killed him, that I think we killed the wrong guy. The way the guy conducted himself, you're right, J. Marie. The way the guy conducted himself, he should have been the boss. And that's why when I went there and he said, what's the matter? I said, I feel dirty. I killed last night the epitome of our life. I feel dirty. And then I told him, I said, I fell in love with him. And Paul looked at me and said, what? What'd you say? I said, I fell in love with him. He was every fucking thing we're supposed to be. He was a man's man. And Paul got it. And then he told me, he said, Sammy, don't ever change how you feel or how you think. So, and that's going to be a movie. And every time I talk about him, J. Marie, he left an impression on me, even talking right now about him. I choke up. I think about him. And what a tough guy this guy was. What a man's man he was. And anyway, when I do the movie, I don't want the movie where it's about me, obviously, but it's about him. I hope they credit this movie to him. I hope his family, grandchildren, whoever looks at it says, wow, Sammy thought this guy was the best. I mean, a lot of legitimate people, he's like 50 hits. He's not the best of them. He's a killer. But to me as a gangster, J. Marie, and you understand this because you're a tough guy. I'm not saying you're a killer, but you're a tough guy. You have to respect that, how this guy ended his life. You have to respect it, or you're not a man yourself. So, and I dedicate this movie to him. I really do. So.
You know, you're working with the highest level legends in Hollywood to tell this story and the scripted show, and to see them bounce ideas off of each other from your director to your showrunner. I mean, just sitting at that table and how they're going to tell the story is epic. It is amazing.
Yeah, they're going to be epic. That's for sure. And you know, we have great people. We're going to have great actors and actresses and stuff like that. But the story itself is great. Taking me or out, I'm not trying to take. You know, it's about me. It is about me, but it's about everybody else, and it's about the truth. I want people to understand the Mafia, and you guys understand the Mafia, but I want them to understand the Mafia like they have never seen or heard before. People who don't understand it. People like you, Jamie, you guys are going to love it. I hope I'm going to love it. I might be surprised when I look at it and say, oh my God, was that me?
Anthony in the Super Chat, Sammy, sending love from Buffalo. Had Toto known that you guys were going to take out Paul, would he have tried to stop it, even though it sounds like he didn't have much love for him?
Toto was like Neil, Strictly Goes in Austria. I think he would have stopped me or tried to stop me. I think he would have stopped me because I would have never went against Toto. That's why I didn't tell him. I knew he would never go along with it. He would tell me, the boss is the boss. You can't take him out. And Neil said the same thing. He said the same thing when he talked with John Gotti and Angelo, and Frankie DeChico was there. That's how I found out. He said, you guys broke every fucking rule in the book. Drugs, every fucking thing. And now you want to ask me about killing him, the boss? What did he do? You broke the rules. In other words, telling them he shouldn't die, you should die. And he told them, if you want me to sit down for you, I will try to save your life. If I can't, run. But to kill him, my answer is no. Toto would have did the same thing with me. He said, he would have told me, Sammy, I made you. I brought you into this life. You're like a son to me. I beg you not to do this. That's all he would have had to say. I would have said, no, I'm out. I'm not in. I wasn't part of the drugs. I wasn't part of all that shit. I would have said no. But when Frankie did, talked to me, Frankie DeChico, and I decided to go in, I left Tato out. I didn't want him to bring him into something that he would not be comfortable with. I didn't want him to be part of it. It's breaking a rule. He didn't have to. So.
Weave the 23 is asking, what were you doing today as you were getting ready for this 5:30 hit?
For the 5:30
For
hit?
Castellano, yeah.
For
the day of, when you guys were getting ready.
The day of, I was already on the lam from October, living with Frankie DeChico in Joe Watts' house and Frankie Botts. And the night before, the day of, I was nervous. I was preparing to give my life for what we were about to do. I always believed in God. And I started to want to pray. But the words wouldn't come out of my mouth. I couldn't pray to God to help me kill someone. I just couldn't. The two don't mix. So I didn't pray. All I think I said was, God, forgive me what I'm about to do. And that was about it. I was nervous. I was ready to go. I was prepared to die in the street if that's what it was going to be. This was enormous. In front of tens of thousands of people, cops on every corner. The possibility of dying on this one was big. No doubt about it. But we had a great plan, and it worked to the T. If it didn't work for the T, just a little bit off, we were finished. We would have got slaughtered in the street by cops. So that's what I did. And then I did and went. And I went with John Gotti in the car when we got down there. And John was driving the car. I was in the passenger seat. I had a walkie-talkie in my hand. I was controlling the hit. I planned the hit, how it was going to happen. And I had a .357 Magnum in my lap. Worst came to worst, a gun battle. I was one of the back. I was also be one of the backup shooters. Then there's a story about it. You know about it when they pulled up right next to us. I won't get into all of that. It'll be too long. And you're going to see it in the movie, every inch of the way. So.
Thank you, Sammy. Christopher in the Super Chat wants to know, what was Nicky Scarfo like?
I liked him. He won the war. With Johnny Keys, he won the war because I took out Johnny Keys and we became friendly. He was a paranoid guy, very dangerous. He was killing people like they were flies. That was his downfall. I won't get to his whole story, but he just did too much work. He was whacking guys for nothing. And guys flipped one after the other in his family. Even his nephew, Filianetti, who was his underboss at one point, he flipped. Most of the heavyweights were flipping. Because, living with a guy like that, you say to yourself, he killed a guy for nothing, almost nothing. So I'm nervous around him. I could maybe not open a door or light his fucking cigar. He wants to kill me. What the fuck did I do? I'm a made guy. He's the father of the family. I don't trust my own father. I think my father's going to blow my brains out if I sneeze the wrong way. So that was his downfall. And a lot of people know it all over the place. But I liked him. I did work with him other than the Johnny Keys. He called me one time there and he didn't trust John Gotti. I don't want to get into that whole story.
Mm.
But he was a pretty nice guy in a way, but too dangerous. There's a limit to what you can do. There's a limit to what we're supposed to do. You know, when a guy's got to go, he's got to go. But not everybody and their mother has to go. There's times you just got to let certain things go.
Darth Simon, Sammy, do you remember Spanky's Hair Salon on Richmond Avenue in the Kmart Shopping Center on Staten Island?
Spanky's?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I remember that. I think I would remember that name, Spanky. Wasn't that one of the
Little Rascals?
Little Rascals or something, Spanky and the Dead End Kids or something like that?
Yep.
Yeah. I remember the name, but I don't remember a hair cutting place.
Alfalfa.
Yeah, alfalfa. And he had the one hair sticking straight up in the air.
Buckwheat. Darth is saying, my dad used to own that hair salon, and Lisa used to cut your hair.
Really?
You had Louie with you, right?
I had Louie?
Yeah. Darth, send some more information, please. That'd be great.
All right. If she cut my hair, I guess I was there. So I just don't remember it.
Artie Wells sent a nice envelope for you, Sammy. He's saying, I don't have a question today. I just want to say it's great to see you healthy, and I want to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Stay safe. With love, Artie.
Same to you, my brother. You and your entire family. Have a great time. I want to say it again to all my people out there. You know, have a great Christmas. I love this holiday. I mean, this is a great time to, a great time of the year. I go to Scottsdale. We went out to dinner the other night. I mean, it's lit up. The whole place is lit up like a Christmas tree. The streets, the town does it. Everybody does it. It's amazing. It's actually better than New York. I never seen even New York to do it like this. Really beautiful.
Gas Can Lip, your controversial commenter, has a kind of an oddball question, but have you heard about the gym goers that are catching chlamydia from doing sit-ups on yoga balls at the gyms from all the gym equipment germs?
No.
Just you, Gas Can
I
Lip.
haven't heard of that, but it does make sense in a way because, when you sweat, you let out something. So if they have, what is chlamydia?
It's an STD.
Like
it's like a bacteria or something.
something?
Yep.
Yeah, no, I don't know. But I think you need a little bit more contact than that. But you never know. You know what I heard one day? What's the drug that really bad? The one, fentanyl.
Fentanyl.
Listen to this. You want to hear something crazy? The toilet paper in the men's room. Like you go and sit down, the toilet paper's right near you. They said, don't use it. And I asked, why? Why wouldn't you use the toilet paper to wipe yourself? They said they take the toilet paper off and they stick the needle in the toilet paper to clean it. And there could be drugs or whatever on the fucking toilet paper. So.
That happened to Sterling? That happened to you?
It happened at one of the stores I worked at.
Oh, it's real.
In the store. So it's real. It actually happens. Here's Sterling. I didn't even notice. Said somebody, one store she was working in, that happened to somebody and she knows about it. So I've never heard that, but there is a possibility of catching things without having sex and whatever.
JB Weld in the super chat, he's gung-ho on these today. We love you, JB Weld. Do you think it was a risky move for Frankie DeChico to tell the Gemini twins that there was a contract on them? It seems like that would have been a risky play on Frankie's part.
Well, I think it was a great move. In other words, listen, they had to know sooner or later they were going to pay the piper. And Frankie gave them a way out. And that still tells me something about the twins. When the further question, what do you think about them getting out, they did things. Maybe they weren't happy to do some of the things that they were doing. They were afraid of Roy a little bit, afraid to say no. So they did them under pressure. But when they had a chance to get the hell out, they bid on it right away. So going back to that further question, I hope that they changed their lives. They did some nasty shit. And I said, I don't know if they liked it or didn't like it. But here's an example. They didn't like it. Or they would have said no. And they would have ran to Roy and said, this is Frankie the Chico grabbed me. There's a contract on all of us. They're asking us to kill you. So it shows that they had a little bit of grief with Roy. And this opened the door for them to get out. Don't take away from them that they're tough guys, but they may have had not be blamed for everything they did. They did it under Roy. And if I was under Roy, I probably would have did some of those things myself. What am I going to do? Say no? He shoots somebody. Here, grab this, cut that, do this. I'm going to say no and get killed? No. I probably would have did some of the horrible things too. I mean, so I give it to them. So the one helps the other. But no, I don't think it was a bad move. We didn't go into World War III. There could have been bodies all over the place. I think Frankie made an intelligent move. That's why I said to him when I met him, when we were going to take Paul out, I wanted Frankie to be the boss. He's that type of thinker. He's got enough balls to do that. That's a little ballsy of a move, too. You're talking to two fucking professional and dangerous killers. So Frankie's got balls, and he was considerate. It worked.
Philly Bob is asking, what's wrong with Danny DeVito playing you in the movie? What's wrong with that?
Don't be a smart ass, bro. He's a little too short, a little too whatever. Not that I'm that much taller than him, but no, I don't like him playing. How about Tom?
Tom Hardy?
Tom Hardy. How would you like Tom Hardy to play me? I like Tom Hardy, but I don't think I'm going to get him. But I would love to have him play me.
Mm-hmm. Ripley Matt, Sammy, did you have any dealings with the Dallas crime family?
No. And very few people had dealings with the people in Texas. There was a crime family, I understood, even way back, that disappeared. In other words, they stopped calling in. Nobody had contact with them. They called that disappeared. Whether they died, whether they just fell off the globe, whatever, but they had disappeared. I heard that when I was in the Mafia years ago, so I don't think there's anybody there now. But I never had any contact with them whatsoever. Didn't even know they existed. And I did through conversations, but nobody knew them that I know.
All right, we're going to head into our last super chat from Ronald Chavez Jr. Sammy, if you could speak to your younger self, what advice would you give him?
When that woman told you that she was separated and she wasn't living with her husband no more and to come over and bang her, I wouldn't go for that. I would never do that again, because I went there, and when we were in bed, naked, the door opened up and her husband walked in and she started screaming, "He's forcing me." I jumped up out of bed, fucking scared shit. I was young. I would never be with her again. And I'm going to tell all the men out there, how does it to fight when you're balls ass naked? It's a nightmare, bro. I was naked, this fucking guy was fighting me, kicking me, punching me. I couldn't fight. My balls swinging in one way, everything swinging. Bro, it was a nightmare. So if I ever had to do it over again, and I ever saw her, and she told me, "No, we're not together anymore," I would never go with her. I would never trust her and get into that situation again. So.
Was that Marie, or is that a different girl?
No, that wasn't Marie.
Oh, I can't keep up.
Marie was cool.
Marie was cool.
Marie was cool. She was nuts, but she was cool.
Is that the one you babysat the kid?
That's Marie. That's Marie. Yeah. I don't know. She want to hear that?
Yeah.
Marie, when I was young, I wasn't married. I was in the Rampers, and we all hung out. We always carried guns because we were always in trouble. And I was dating this older woman, Marie, and she was married. And so one day I come to the corner and my guys tell me, hey, bro, Sammy, what? Marie's husband came here looking for you. I said, well, you know, did he say something crazy? No, but he came here, he was looking for you, he's coming back. I said, all right. So I said, anybody's got guns? 2, 3 of them had guns. We, like I said, most of us had guns. So I said, listen, when he comes out, it was cold, we had jackets on, and he's gonna walk towards me, I'm gonna walk towards him. If he goes in his jacket, like he's going for a gun, shoot him. So that was the plan. He pulled up, he got out, he started walking towards me, smiling. I kept walking towards him. He never put his hand in his jacket. And then he says, Sammy, listen, Marie, I had borrowed her car. It was right there. He said, Marie needs her car. And, you know, so I said, all right, it's your car. You could take it anytime you want. I knew we couldn't take it because he came in the car, so he can't take both of them. And he said, you know, I know what's going on between you and Marie. I says, she told you? And he says, yeah, I'm okay with it. You're okay with it? Yeah. So I says, all right. So now we were happy. Everybody was banging everybody. We were all happy, like, you know, I was banging her, she was banging him. I don't know what was going on. And then one day she says, he said, Marie would like to ask you for a favor. I said, all right, you know, I'll go by the house and I'll see what she wants. So I went to the house and I talked to her and she says, he's gonna take me out down New York to a Broadway show, to a big restaurant, do this, that, and the other thing. I says, okay, great. And she says, I want you to do me a favor. What? Babysit. I said, you want me to babysit? Now, I didn't mind it too much because I knew the kid already. I was up the house when he wasn't there. I played with the kid. He was a little boy. So I went and babysit. They left all dressed up and they were going out. And I was there sitting with the kid, watching cartoons. And I just said to myself, fucking jerk, you're Sammy the Bull. He's going out to party. You're sitting here babysitting like a fucking jerk. That's crazy. So anyway, when they came back, I saw her the next day. I said, Marie, we got to break up. I can't do this no more. I can't babysit. I love your son, but I can't babysit. I got a big name, Sammy the Bull. Like, I can't be babysitting while you're going with your husband. This whole thing is fucking getting very confusing. I quit. And she was super mad. She's really mad at me. And a day later or 2 days later, I lived in a tough neighborhood, apartment buildings. It was a little ghetto-ish, you know. And so I picked up a girl, young girl, blonde, beautiful. And when I got out of the car to come into the building, her building was right next door. And she starts screaming at me, you slut, you slut. So the girl said, what's she talking about? I said, don't pay no mind. In this neighborhood, everybody's nuts. She's probably, I don't know who she's talking to. No, she looks like she's talking to you. She's not talking to me. Maybe she's talking to you. You maybe know her. She says, well, I'm not a slut. Yeah, but I just picked you up and we're going to my apartment. So it's definitely not me. It's probably you. So we're arguing. So we go up and we go into the bedroom and her house window's right across. And she's screaming out the window. So I closed the window, I pulled down the shade, and she threw a shoe right through the window. The woman says, I got to get out of here. I said, no, come on, I got out of the bedroom. She's nuts. I don't know who she is. But she left. She had to go. So that's Marie. That's my Marie story, and that's crazy. But and then my friends, every time Marie would pass by, and they would yell to her, Marie, Marie, look, the slut is right here. So.
Sammy, you got a lot of people tuning in from all over the world. They're saying, we absolutely love Sammy here in Birmingham, UK, top man. You have Scotland in the house. Everybody just chat in where you're tuning from, but a lot of love in the chat today, Sam.
Love you guys. We're getting close to the hospital, to the holidays. And then let me say another thing. Now, you know, that slutty part of me, and then I got married and had kids. My son Gerard, I think, is a slut. I think he took
Yes,
after
slut.
me.
The apple.
He's got 14,000 dates all the time.
Put you on
And
blast.
he's a greedy little fuck. He don't take nothing for daddy. He just keeps the no.
Want to subscribe for Christmas?
Yeah, subscribe for Christmas this
Subscribe
Wednesday,
for
Patreon.
Christmas, guys, on Patreon in the captain's spot. What is it, next week?
This Wednesday on Patreon is the family sit down.
I'm going to follow you on Instagram.
All right, this Wednesday on Patreon, on the captain's area, we're doing a sit down with my son, my daughter, me, and then my daughter gave me things. I talk too much. She says, slow it down, you talk, and let us talk. All right, so I'm going to be a little quiet, a little more quiet. But that, that's not going to work. As soon as I start talking, I go. But
Yes, give him a follow on Instagram. He's on Twitter. He's on Facebook, or it's X now, but he's doing great.
question.
Oh, yes. Sammy, they want to know what you're smoking in the chat. What is going on with that cigarro?
Listen, the cigarro, it's a cigarello, and it's Swisher Sweets. They're not expensive. They're great. And here's why I take them. It's not so much for the money. The regular cigars, you got to puff and you just puff it out. You can't inhale because you'll choke to death. These are a little bit more mild, so I inhale it. It doesn't kill me. It doesn't knock me out. Has a good taste, and it's a cigar, and it burns nice. And I talked with the doctor. He says, it doesn't do as much damage as actual cigarettes. Cigarettes have chemicals and shit like that. I don't think there's any chemicals in this thing. I don't know for sure. It does say Surgeon General war tobacco's not good for you. All that bullshit. It says all of that. But they're really, really good. So if you want them, buy them, and they're great. They're in every, 7-Eleven, all those kind of stores. Everybody's got them, and they're cheap. I think they're a buck and change, a package of 2, and that's what I smoke. So I know I got a lot of questions, even on my message things. Always somebody asking me, what do you smoke, and this and that and the other thing. So that's what I smoke.
Swisher Sweets. What flavor is it?
It's the original. They call it the original. They have flavors. They have all kinds of things, grape and this and that, spaghetti, all different kinds of things. Mm-hmm. So I don't smoke all those other flavors. I smoke the originals. I like them. They're not harsh, and they don't even smell as bad. Sometimes I'll smoke a regular cigar, those big thick ones. I can't smoke it in here because in one cigar I'll stink up the whole joint. This here I got to smoke quite a bit to stink the joint up. Most of the times I go out, or if I stay in, like right now, it's not too bad. So it's not as bad as everything else. So guys, I'm going to wrap it. And my son, I think he didn't eat the whole pizza yet. So I'm going to go have a piece. It's passed out on me. He must be.
He's in a food coma.
He's in a food coma. All right, guys. Love you. Again, have a great holiday. You and your families. Don't let anything stop you from having a good time, bro. Enjoy it. This is about the kids. This is about love. Love your families. Love each other. Husbands and wives. Don't stop arguing for a couple of weeks or a month. Love. This whole holiday is about love. All right. Adios.